Listen up. Most people run from being alone because there's a darkness and solitude that scares them. But I'm telling you, that's where your real power lies. When you're alone, there's no one else to blame. No distractions, no comforts, just you and your raw, unfiltered thoughts. That's when you figure out who you really are. People fear being alone because it forces them to face their demons. But here's the thing, those demons aren't here to destroy you. They're here to shape you into something unbreakable. It's in the silence, in the stillness of being alone, that the real battle begins. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to face that fight head on. When you're alone, you hear that voice in your head, the one that whispers, "You're not good enough. You're not strong enough." But let me tell you, that voice, it's lying. That voice is your enemy, and your job is to hunt it down and crush it. You do that by pushing yourself to your limits, every day, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Don't just sit with your pain. Own it. Feel it. Let it cut deep. Then get up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Because when you're alone, there's no one else to lift you up. You learn to be your own hero, your own savior. That's how real strength is born. Most people surround themselves with others to drown out that voice and avoid the hard truths about themselves. But you're not like them. You don't need the noise. You don't need the approval of others. You thrive in the darkness because you understand that in the end, it's just you versus you. And when you win that fight, nothing, absolutely nothing can stop you. So don't run from being alone. Embrace it. Use it as fuel. Because when you master solitude, when you conquer your own mind, you become unbreakable. And here's the truth, the world is full of weak-minded people who crave validation and depend on others to feel okay. But not you. You're built different. You're not here for applause or participation trophies. You're here to smash your goals and break through the limits you've set for yourself. And that takes a level of focus and discipline most people can't even begin to imagine. When you're alone, you have to face reality. And let me tell you something, reality doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't matter if you're tired, scared, or full of doubt. Reality is tough. If you're not ready, it'll chew you up and spit you out. But being alone forces you to confront reality head on. You learn to live in it, thrive in it, and even embrace the pain and struggles, because that's where true growth happens. People will tell you that being alone makes you weak, that you need a team or a tribe. But here's the truth, they're wrong. Being alone isn't a weakness, it's your greatest strength. In solitude, there are no distractions, no one to baby you. You strip away all the noise, and what's left is raw, unstoppable drive. In those quiet moments, you become a force to be reckoned with. When you're alone, you answer to no one but yourself. And that can be scary, but it's also freeing. It means you're in charge. You're the one steering the ship, making the choices, taking the actions. There's no one else to lean on, no one else to blame. But here's the best part, there's also no one to hold you back. No one to tell you to slow down or settle. You get to push yourself as hard as you want, as far as you can go. And that means there are no limits to what you can achieve. That's the power of being alone. You're free to become the most focused, determined, and relentless version of yourself. So when the world tells you to find comfort in others, turn away. When they say you can't do it on your own, prove them wrong. Show them that solitude isn't your enemy, it's your secret weapon. It's where you sharpen your edge, where you build yourself into the unstoppable force you need to conquer anything that stands in your way. Remember this, the real fight is in your mind. Spend enough time alone, facing your thoughts, battling through the darkness, and you'll come out stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable than ever before. The world won't know what hit it. See solitude for what it really is, a gift, but only if you're strong enough to accept it. Most people run from it because they fear what they might face in the silence. But not you. You've learned something that most people never will. The silence, that's where the real work happens. It's where you confront your weaknesses, tear yourself down, and rebuild yourself piece by piece, until all that's left is unshakable strength. When you spend enough time alone, you start to see the world differently. You realize that all the noise, the distractions, and the opinions of others, They're just that noise. They only have power if you let them. You become immune to the nonsense because you've learned to trust the only voice that matters, your own. There's clarity in solitude. It sharpens your vision. You see your goals clearer, understand your path deeper, and you're ready to do whatever it takes to reach them. Because when you've been truly alone, you've faced the worst of it. Nothing out there can scare you like the battles you've already fought inside your mind. But don't get it twisted. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. There's a huge difference. Loneliness is for the weak, the ones who can't handle their own company. But you've learned to thrive in it. You've turned that solitude into your weapon, a source of strength that others can't even begin to understand. So when the world tells you that you need others to succeed, you just laugh because you know the truth. The only person you need is the one staring back at you in the mirror. That's the person who's going to push you when no one else will. The one who'll keep you going when everyone else has given up. The one who'll carry you across the finish line no matter what it takes. In the end, the power of being alone is the power to be unstoppable. It's the power to take control of your life, shape your destiny, and become something greater than you ever imagined. It's the power to look fear in the eye and say, I'm not afraid of you. I've already faced worse in the silence of my own mind, so embrace the darkness. Embrace the solitude. Let it mold you, shape you, and turn you into a warrior who fears nothing and no one. Because when you've mastered the art of being alone, nothing in this world can stand in your way.